A very busy and pretty good season of gaming is finally winding down, but we got a few more. I'm Jake Baldino, and I'm bringing you the best games releasing in December 2016. These are the ones worth caring about. Let's get started off with number 5. First things first, I don't know about you guys if this one totally came out of the woods and surprised me. Telltale Games' Walking Dead is getting a new season. This is Season 3, Episode 1 dropping this month. This time around it's called New Frontier, and I don't really want to spoil anything, but it continues the tale of Clementine and her adventure through the world of The Walking Dead. This one takes place 4 years after the previous season, and this time around Clem is joined by a new character named Javier. Apparently, according to the creators, this season is going to match up more closely with where the comics are now, and the canon's going to start to fit together a little more. I'm curious to see where that really goes, but time will tell. It's going to be dropping sometime this month. You know how Telltale works. And at number 4, we have Space Hulk Deathwing. This is for you PC gamers out there. This game looks totally awesome. I'm a huge fan of Warhammer 40k, and this is a first-person shooter based around that lore. Basically, it's a first-person shooter where you have a bunch of different powers and abilities. Because you're a goddamn space marine, you're awesome, and you can do co-op with up to 3 other players and run through levels. There's skill trees and perks and ways to level up, and I don't know, just playing as a space marine Terminator looks incredibly awesome. It looks fun, it looks fast-paced, it looks and feels a little bit like Left 4 Dead, but of course with a lot of really cool sci-fi stuff going on. And visually, the game also looks very interesting and is probably unlike some things you've ever played, especially if you've never touched a Warhammer 40k game. But if you're looking for a good co-op game on PC, I think this is going to be the one to play in December. And at number 3, we have Steep. This is Ubisoft's newest open-world game that focuses around mountain extreme sports like snowboarding and skiing. And honestly, I don't know what to think about this one. The game had a beta a while back, and it was received kind of mixed. You can look up some gameplay on YouTube and judge for yourself, but honestly, I think it's just about your expectations. What I really want from a game like this is a new version of SSX, but I don't think I'm getting that with this. It seems a little more based around simulation and warping to different points of the mountain. It's less of an actual open world than you would think. But on the flip side, the way I'm looking at it, Ubisoft is trying something a little different here with this game, so I'm willing to give it a shot. And you know, snowboarding games have always been cool, so I'm really holding out hope for Steep, although I don't know yet. And at number 2, we have Dead Rising 4, a very much clamored for return to form for the Dead Rising games. Now, Dead Rising 3 was pretty cool, but fundamentally it just felt different from 1 and 2. Just judging from the pre-release of this one, it does look like, once again, things are as they should be. You're Frank West, there's zombies, you're stuck in a small town in the middle of America, there's a mall, and this time it's Christmas. Everybody's favorite crappy main character, Frank West, looks a little different this time around, and I don't know if the humor is going to land for some, but the game does look like it's really embracing over the top this time, more than ever, with mech suits and a bunch of even crazier weapons than we've seen. I'm hoping this one's good, and especially with the December release right around Christmas and the Christmas theme of the game, it just seems like something that some people might want to play. Especially since the Dead Rising games are some of the best zombie games out there. A lot of people, including myself, are really holding out hope for this one because Dead Rising 1 and 2 are near perfect. And at number 1 on our list, whew, oh boy, okay, here we go, The Last Guardian. Some of you guys may not even be old enough to remember when this game was announced. I can't believe I'm saying that. This was originally slated as a PS3 game from the awesome developers Team Ico, who made Ico and Shadow of the Colossus, and this is their next game, and it's finally coming out after years and years of rumored cancellations and revives, and it looks like the game is mostly intact. Through some previews and stuff, some people have had mixed feelings on it, because ultimately, I guess at the end of the day, it still is a PS3 game, but there's something about the Team Ico games that just have such charm and just uniqueness to them that there is a reason that people waited years and years for this game. You play as a boy and you go on an adventure with a big bird dog monster thing. It's going to be very puzzle based, not a lot of combat, and a lot of environmental exploration. If you're familiar with something like Ico, you probably know what you're getting into, but what I do think is very interesting is that the creature is a complete character in and of itself. It's not always going to listen to you, and you basically have to wrangle it and deal with it because it has a mind of its own. I'm thinking that could make for some pretty cool gameplay and story scenarios, but like I say with everything on this list, time will tell. This December is a small month, but an interesting month, and I think Last Guardian is the biggest reason. Before I go though, we do have some bonus games for you guys, starting off with Super Mario Run. This is that Nintendo iOS game that has received a lot of controversy because there's a version of it that costs $10. You can download and try it for free though upon final release, and I'm curious to see how well this thing is gonna do. Speaking of Mario, we also have Mario Maker on 3DS. Mario Maker was one of the best games for Wii U, and sadly nobody played it. Well, some people played it, enough people I guess because they're making it for 3DS. There are some caveats, but ultimately you got a good game here. And last but not least, and some people hate that I bring up DLC, but some people might care about this one, Battlefront is getting some Rogue One DLC. And for people with PSVR, the small little VR mode is also coming out this month, so if you want to fly in an X-Wing, check it out. those are the games most worth caring about in December 2016, but as always with these videos, I want to know what you guys think in the comments. Because there's not much releasing this month, and I think there are very specific games that aren't going to be for everyone, so I do want to know in the comments what you're going to pick up, if any of these games. If you are new to this video, I want you to know that clicking the like button helps us out a ton. That's literally how we live and die. And subscribing is a good idea because we put out videos like this all the time. You might learn a thing or two. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.